Hey everyone, welcome
Hi,
to Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee. Welcome for a special pop-up live stream today on past lives with past loves
Sloves.
or companions, friends, etc. But you know what? I'm going to really quickly do an affirmator for the collective today before we get started. Got the list down, and then we're getting down to business. We'll just explain the reading a little bit and get going. Okay, Mr. O, I'm going to have you select a card. I know they're a little clumpy. Sorry. What is it?
Something you say I don't do.
What an appropriate
Listening.
card for today.
Listening.
Well, let me see. I activate my receptive side and become an engaged, intuitive, professional grade listener. Supercharged listening gives me the ability to not only hear the words that others are saying, but also to perceive the emotions hiding between their words. Armed with this knowledge, I'll be in a great position to give them exactly what they need, or if I prefer to dominate the planet. There you go.
All right, I'm listening.
Well, okay.
So we designed a one-size-kind-of-fits-all reading for this. It's basically the same reading for everybody, so no one's going to ask a question. We're basically going to look at a potential past life, and we have cards that will support the factors of it.
Well, it's not that you're not going to ask a question. It's just that, I'm sorry, I wanted to clarify that. Obviously, we want to know if you're looking at somebody who is a friend, a lover, companion,
Yeah.
you want to know something about that life. But, I think that, we're not going to do any yes, no's, or extras with this, is what I think he was trying to say.
It'll come out in the reading.
So basically, do we ever do the same thing twice on this show? Maybe,
No.
maybe not. We kind of redesigned this reading because we're reading for kind of two people and where they connected. So we took what we thought were the best categories to use for this from the Remembering Far Memory reincarnation cards, and then we're going to do some things with the tarot to enhance that. So it's going to give you information a little bit different from the times we've done this before. We're really excited to give this a try. We've experimented with it a bit, and of course we'll probably be thrown off right away with that alien culture card coming up. So we'll see. Anyway, hi,
And Sonny
Blue
has
Ocean
joined
Stars.
me. He's sort of corralled here. Hopefully he won't knock things over like he usually does. Hi, Blue Ocean.
So to everybody here, remember, this is past life readings only today. So if you have particular relationship you're interested in exploring, if you had a past life together,
Hi, Libra.
get a little information on that. I got you, Libra. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow at our normal live stream for regular questioning. Okay, so this is the list I have so far, if everybody's in. I have Angel Mary, I have Acel, I have Merwin, I have Angel Rivera, I have Blue Ocean Stars, and Libra Cusp. So,
Alrighty.
Angel Mary, what are you looking into? Who would you like to know about if you've shared a past life with? Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Who was your wait a minute. Who was your husband in your past life? Somebody you were married to?
Basically, if she's connected to her present husband from a past life.
Are you married? I'm not sure. That was the question. Hadn't anticipated that, but we might be able to work this out.
We'll need you to explain that.
Yeah, just explain if you want to know, like, is this a person in your present life you shared a past life with? Is this your current husband? No. Okay.
No, that was there a few moments before you asked. Sorry. That's why I said, well, you'll need to explain that.
Okay. So we're going to do
You're not
this.
married now. Okay.
We're going to do this a little differently. So basically, she wants to know who she was married to
Yeah.
in a past life. So we will give this information, and we will draw one court card here to resemble that person.
Whatever you say, dear.
We will wing it. I know there's a way to do this.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. So basically, let's see who this person was. Let's find out where.
That's the where ones.
Yeah, the culture, kind of where. Don't draw alien first card.
Whoops, I gotta flip my camera.
So it seems to me you guys lived in Central America, okay? So that's where this past life was shared. And it was a mountainous environment. So you lived kind of in a mountainous environment.
Maybe in the Andes.
Yeah, and looking at the card they chose for Central America, of course, makes me think more past.
Right.
Mr. O.
But some of the civilizations of Central and South America are 1,000 years too. But of course, nowadays we also believe that some of those cultures go back much further, more than 2,000 years even.
Actually, you know what? We still are going to draw two cards.
Right. We're okay.
I know how I want to do this. So basically the first I'm looking for court cards in here, and the first court card I'm going to draw, let me have you shuffle a little. The first court card I'm going to draw is going to represent you, Angel Mary, in this past life. And the second court card is going to, whether it's male or female, will represent qualities of your husband in this past life.
Do you want me to cut?
Yep. Okay, for you, we've got the Princess of Arrows, which the princess in these decks are the knight, actually. So that is the knight of
Wands?
Of swords. The arrows
Okay.
are swords. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Let me keep going and find your partner. Oh, and it's the King of Arrows. So interesting. You had a lot of air elemental associations here. So I feel as though you were pretty evenly matched, although I feel that the king was, maybe perhaps indicative of they were older than you. Clearly, they kind of ruled the roost, I feel that they were in charge. But you really blended together well. It was a very intellectual relationship.
Well, just the fact that they're both the same suit seems to indicate that you had very mutual qualities. You both had similar interests, that kind of thing. But there was at least some sort of age difference. And if you think about it, in ages past, even 5 years, let alone 10, could be a huge age difference between people in a relationship. So it's not really clear exactly what the ages could be. They could be, from a modern point of view, actually more closer.
So we were going to draw the theme next, and then this.
You draw that, yeah, and then the final card. Okay.
So this is like the overall theme, of your life together that you shared.
And we have some new chatters, but this is not exactly what we're doing today. We're doing past lives.
We're doing past life readings, so if you want a reading, check out our live stream tomorrow.
But we can do a past life today.
Yeah, you can watch what we're doing right now. I'll add you to the list, and if you're interested, we can give you a similar reading.
Okay, so the theme of that relationship, Angel Mary, was some sort of dichotomy between stability and instability. So it could be, as an example, that there were political or geographic type changes in that area you lived in around that time that constituted that. new factions coming in, or maybe there were even natural disasters or certain types of events that happened that created instability. Maybe if you lived in Central America, maybe there was weather conditions, storms, El Nino, things like that, that might have impacted on your life in general, the theme of it. So
I didn't even comment on that
okay,
card yet.
I'll let you.
So, but I was busy. I was getting names on the list. So, stability and instability, yes. There was some rockiness in your life. They may have been, related to things that you could not control. I feel that there was, but you guys were air signs. You use your intellect. And I feel like, you were able to find some healthy balances along the way. But let's double check that. I was going to shuffle this again and have you pull one random.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Yes, we do that one. Mm-hmm.
So there's one more card we're going to put with the two people to see what other factors were influencing your past life. And
right. Possibly what connected you. And I guess I pulled it out this way, but I could see that maybe it was that way. It's the Eight of
Arrows. No, actually, if you pulled it reversed, I think that's very interesting. Because, again, this is showing me that you guys were very good at getting out of jams, maybe that you got yourself into, So this instability that you experienced, you were able to find ways to get out of it.
Right. And in other possibilities, it could just be saying that the instability represented limitations or challenges that you were able to use maybe the intellect factors to get out of. I'm not sure exactly how or why that connects you. I mean, I'm actually wondering if there was, even though you were married, there was something maybe familial, like maybe you were distant cousins or something like that. But I just sort of sense that in a way,
I don't sense that necessarily you were rulers or leaders, but it does seem as though you might have been, that maybe you played a role in helping, the culture you were in recover from disasters.
That came up for a reason, so it was the theme of your life. So you probably had some prominence in a community that would allow you to be decisive in certain ways, whether you were an actual ruler or
military influence, legal influence.
So now this final deck, which I'm shuffling, is the Tarot of the Ancestral Spirit, or the Ancestral Ways, the Ancestral Path, I'm sorry.
We're just looking at the Major Arcana to see what you carried from this life into the present, Angel Mary.
It could be something that is a karmic lesson, or it could just be an impact that was brought from that life.
Karmic lesson. He said karmic lesson, and I pulled judgment. So, it seems to me that you've taken away from this life and if you meet up with this partner in this life, there will be karmic lessons that you have shared from this experience that might bring you together inevitably.
I actually do believe that I believe this card says you are destined to meet that person in this life. If not this life, perhaps it's a future life. But the idea that there's some great destiny between you is clearly implicated by the Judgment card. And it really does talk about the mutual lessons that you've learned. And a lot of it is about advancing, evolving your spiritual concerns.
Hey, that's what we have, and we are moving because
we got to do the next one now.
Mr. O has to work today.
That's right. We can't really go into overtime because I actually have another
as many readings as we
engagement that I have to be at high noon our time.
Asel, who do you want to know about? You are next, and then there's Merwin, Angel
You're very
Rivera,
welcome.
Blue Ocean Stars, Libra Cusp, Rosero, Captain Roz, and Roz Hunter. Oh, you're very welcome, Angel Mary. I'm glad you liked it.
Entertaining, if nothing else.
It's nice when we can find ways to combine different decks together. We really enjoy doing that. But this is very involved, and I wish we had 2 hours to spend on this today, but we don't. So we're going to keep moving.
Asel, this is like... Gotta move. So
time. You gotta give us a question.
So if you're not here, we will have to move on. Come on.
I'll type it in real quick. We gotta get going though. But for the new people who have joined us, we have a regular live stream on tomorrow from 2 to 4 p.m. And we can answer all other types of questions on that show. We'll be doing our tarot readings. It's a combination of tarot cards and Lenormand.
And Sunny will show up too.
And Sunny will show up too.
You know it, right?
Sigh.
Okay, we're gonna have to move on.
No, Roz, you're at the bottom of the list, but we don't have a lot. And if a cell does not answer,
Yeah, we're looking for a cell.
we are moving.
There you are. Okay, a cell.
Get your question in now, Cell.
Remember,
Whose past life would you like us to explore along with yours? A friend, a neighbor, a relationship,
anybody that you feel you might have been connected to.
or somebody you're communicating with now you think you might have a connection?
Okay, I'm not sure.
Well, I think there's that delay factor.
No, that's what I'm not sure about.
We're only doing the past life readings today, Asel, so unless you have a question about the past life, come back tomorrow. Hey, Merwin, do you have a question for us? And also, if Asel does have a past life question...
Okay, we're going to keep that there and wait and see if a cell clarifies for us.
Past husband or lover, will we reconnect? Well, we'll see what the cards look like with that. We'll do it the same way we did the first one. It pretty much...
Okay, are we waiting on a cell or not? What happened?
I think we'll move on. Asel, if you type your question, we'll do you right
It's
after.
there.
Oh. It just says relationship.
You don't see past husband, past
No.
soulmate?
Oh,
I do.
past husband. Okay. Okay, I mixed up the two. All right. Let's do Asel first, and then we'll do Merwin.
Yeah, hang
Sorry
on, Merwin.
about that. Sorry about
Okay,
that.
so
I do have a delay.
I know you do.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm telling you what I'm seeing, though.
That's why I was shocked.
Is this
I'm
the
like,
next one?
I miss. That is the first one, Mr.
Okay, I have
O.
previously shuffled.
Did
I'm going to let you pick. So this is the...
Merwin, what should... Or
This
I
is
mean,
Asel.
Asel, what you doing in Rome?
Okay, so you're in Rome. That's the geographic, but it may pertain to the era. So mostly we think of ancient Rome. The kind of environment, though, like, you know, it was a town.
Okay.
It was a town in
Probably
Rome.
a town outside of Rome, maybe.
No, Rome in ancient times was a large empire. So the Roman Empire
That's
really
true.
covered most of Europe, parts of Asia even. So you could have been anywhere. You may not have been specifically in Rome, but you may have been in the Roman Empire.
Yeah, I take this is during the Roman Empire period.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Merwin. So this is already exciting a little bit of so, I think.
I gotta look for the court cards. Whoa, one came up right away. So, Asel, you were actually a male in this life. Wait a minute. No, we're not doing it this way. I'm sorry. You have the qualities of this card, whether male or female, in this life. You were probably female because you're asking about a husband, right?
You're supposed to deal them down.
I'm doing it. And your partner
Was possibly older.
was older, and I feel that, let's see, you were coins and fire. They had a lot of energy, and they did things maybe that were more physical. I think maybe physical labor.
In terms of the possibilities of the Roman Empire, it's possible that they had more status than you. They might have been in control of something. Maybe they operated a business or they were an assistant to a business.
Yeah, and it seemed to me that, you did a lot, I think, in this relationship.
Maybe you worked for them.
It's possible because the the Prince of Coins is could be a
Younger person.
apprentice kind of card, I
Okay,
guess,
yeah.
was what I was trying to say.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Good.
And so that is possible. But it seems to me that, you were able, where this person did the physical labor, you were really able to manage the resources, and maybe you learned from them how to do so, and that ended up being your role in this relationship.
I'm going to just differ a little bit because I just sort of see this person as being more the businessy administrative head and this person being more the labor to me. But I sort of see the mutual qualities going back and forth. And I definitely agree with the idea that maybe this person learned that stuff so that they didn't have to do it anymore. Kind of
Well,
thing.
and it's possible that this person, may have been in the trades, but, was somebody who was more the organizer and the boss.
So which card is next?
I don't know. I think it's the theme. It's the theme. It is. It's the theme. We did that next. Oh, and I don't do that. So sorry. We don't pick from the top.
I could have sworn that we did
No,
that
we
one
did
to
this
talk
one
about.
last time first. We did.
When I look back.
You will say you're sorry.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Indifference.
Well, it's true. They're both there, but maybe this other card we're going to pull will give us a clue. So, I think that's why I
Okay,
pulled
so
that first.
what do you think that means, though?
It means that either you guys were very, very close, or you guys really didn't connect. And I'm going to see here what this card might tell us about that.
Well, maybe it was a plus-minus relationship. Maybe it was a love-hate relationship. Maybe it was an on-again, off-again relationship.
There is that possibility, but it's possible that it is one over the other.
That's true.
So, Mr. O, just pull one out of here.
Oh, sure, easy. Just one?
Yes.
Okay, and it was reversed, but I guess that's the one that sort of...
Wow.
Reversed 5 of Wands.
I feel like in
Oh,
this...
staves. So the arrows are... Yeah, okay, sorry, just
Yes.
recollecting. Never mind.
It's okay. We don't use this deck too often. So the 5, which is, by the way, the Lover's Path Tarot. We didn't talk about the decks we're using. I didn't. You did. So basically, the 5 of Wands is, it looks as though like you guys had walked away from each other at some point. So I get the feeling that Mr. O ultimately might have been right, that you guys were in a relationship together, you fell in love, but over time, conflicts kind of pulled you apart.
So then the final card from the Ancestral Path.
So what is the takeaway here? What is the takeaway? And I'll talk a little bit more about the person that your husband was in this life. I think you might need a little more info. Oh. So it's the Fool reversed. So what might,
Somebody was afraid to take the ultimate chance and do the connection. And that's why this thing vacillated throughout that, because somebody just didn't really want to take the chance.
and open their heart enough to,
Maybe there were things that prevented, class issues or other issues that prevented them from really being openly in love or married. But one of the partners really wanted to defy the norms. I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility. I don't know that was absolutely true. I mean, the love that dare not speak its name, any of that kind of stuff. But there was some reason why you or somebody didn't really want to fully commit. And that's why this vacillation or love-hate relationship kind of happened.
It's hard for me to say if you are going to reconnect with this person in this life from what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
But I feel that the Fool reversed might be telling you, Asal, that what's come out of that union, that relationship, is maybe a little bit of hesitancy, a little bit of fear of letting yourself dive, immerse yourself into a relationship out of fear of getting hurt. Or,
This could also be saying, too, that what comes out of that is that your lesson should be that you need to learn to trust your instinct rather than maybe second guessing it or being scared of what your instinct tells you.
Yeah. You have to be willing to open up, especially if something seems good. This person overall seemed like a pretty decent person.
Probably.
I feel they were kind of magnetic and you were drawn to them. And maybe it's because of their indifference towards you that you now are hesitant.
It could still be that maybe because of the kind of society it was, there may have been class or age issues that worked against you being an actual couple.
It could be.
Or something like that. So we're going to move on.
All right.
I'll shuffle these.
And so we're moving on to Merwin. We had
Hi,
the
Merwin.
question.
And we had your question. All right.
All right. Past husband or lover. Will we reconnect? Well, let's see what it says.
And you know what? I get a lot of fun out of doing these too, because I guess being a Scorpio, there's sort of a vicarious thrill about hearing about lives and, you know, the ups and downs and the back and forths and whether or not true love made it or if it's yet
He's
to come
a real
in another.
soap opera fan, this one.
I'm a romantic. Wasn't it my idea to do Super Tarot Love Week in the beginning?
It was. And who glommed on to doing emotional exchanges first? Mr. O. I went for the money.
Yes, and I'm going to remind everybody, if you haven't caught my emotional exchanges from Friday, you should. It's a very special episode.
Do you want to have me go first this time? Oh, gosh.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be the one to pick the alien, Merwin, right?
You're welcome, Estelle. I hope you like that. That was kind of interesting.
It was interesting.
Settle down, boy.
You know, and if we had more time, we might be able to go into more detail, but it's kind of rough trying to fit.
So what kind of period or thing did this happen for Merwin?
Cave girl.
Oh. Ayla, the cave girl. Who's the alien?
No, it's okay if he's an alien. Well, it didn't turn out that way so far.
Well, maybe, you know,
I don't know what the tarot can tell us
ancient
about
aliens experimented on early human types. You're more than an experiment, Merwin.
All right. What did you grab?
Oh boy, everybody lives in a town,
Well,
or
what
the
would a town look
prehistoric
like in
equivalent of a town.
prehistoric times? I would say it's a nice cave environment, communal cave environment. You know, they had their culture, they had their way of doing things. People who probably did certain
Prehistoric
tasks.
doesn't necessarily mean that. I mean, we could go back to just before the Egyptian era, and that was prehistory. But to me, what that's saying is that maybe it was more of an agricultural kind of community, because that's what you had in this prehistoric era. Mostly was agricultural kind of communities. So developed around, you know, some community.
I'm not sure of those delineations
Sure.
with, so there might be another one for that. But I'll take your word for it. I think it's possible in this case. So let me just shuffle.
Well, agriculture is what kind of humanized us and created culture.
Do you want to shuffle once and I'll cut them? Once. Oh, please don't knock the camera over.
He's gonna, I think.
All right, let's see.
Someone needs to know the identity of the next person, too. We keep getting that.
So the Prince of Coins came up again, which is interesting. I wanted to see something. Past husband. Okay. So the Prince of Coins, though, is you. We'll talk about that. Queen of Staves. Well, this is opposites. Should we switch them?
But these are the same cards. We're not shuffling that well.
That's...
Right.
I don't know. Maybe they were meant to come up again.
Let's just go
You know,
with it.
because we did cut as well. Okay, well, we will shuffle harder next time.
We will.
But I think there's a message here. You know what? It seems as though somebody, and I think it was you, were certainly responsible for the gathering and the food, and that's the Prince of Coins here, which is the the page in this deck. The Queen indicates that this person again was somebody who went out with their staffs and did the hunting,
Well, that's
maybe
not always the
led-
analogy I get. I just sort of look at the age difference as being the first thing that maybe
Well, that is true.
you and this person had an age difference.
That
And
is
like I
true.
said before, in other times, even 5 years was a tremendous age difference for some of these kind of, lives. So I just feel there was an age difference. Personalities were mostly compatible, but I
Earth
sort
and
of...
fire, too. Yeah. Again.
I mostly feel like, once again, that other person had a little bit more prominence or importance in their community than you might have, being the younger person or other factors. No?
Agreed.
Okay.
And so let me look at what we have here for the...
Oh, okay. So who's doing the reading, Merwin? You already know this? You don't need us.
No, I think that's great. That's what you need to do, is take it in and see how it resonates.
So this is the theme of that life. Oh.
Oh, ouch.
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 Betrayal. So there were things that possibly put you at odds with each other, or that maybe there was actually something below the surface that was going on between one or the other. It may not have always have been there, but maybe something happened and the relationship changed.
Yeah, it's like not clear.
Or was always...
But let's see what we get here. It seems as though there was a betrayal that weighed heavily on, I think, you.
There was
another woman.
person involved.
And it was an earth sign.
And this was also a young person, the Princess of Coins. So,
Well, that's a knight. So yes,
but they were
right,
young.
right.
There may have been an affair, or there may have been adultery, or there may have been a misunderstanding. But there was another person involved that possibly
interfered, and maybe this person actually was the one who betrayed you.
He found a prettier cave woman. It's that. The first time somebody fell into the pigments they were using to do the caves, and then she got up and they're like, "Hey, I want to hit that." No. But they had the club too, so that meant something different. Ooh.
All right,
Merwin,
Mr.
let him
O.
go hit that.
Where's the other card?
Where is
oh,
it
wait.
indeed?
Yeah, where's the other card? Oh, wait, did we? Yes, we did. I'm confused because I see 3 people there, but that's interesting.
I see dead people. Well, from prehistory, they have to be dead, right? No. Ah, so you know this. You know this. Oh my goodness, you're scaring me, Merwin. Now, this is what was the takeaway or the karma that you needed to learn, or that you did learn, or that you're bringing to now.
And will you guys hook up?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say on that. We've got the Hanged One reversed, which is kind of interesting. What I feel here is this person is here. This person is out there in the world, but it's a big world. And will you connect? I'm not really certain, but I think that,
I sort of think it's more circumstantial that
yeah.
most likely you learn those lessons, or you understand what happened. You're able to forgive that perhaps, or you want to reunite. But I think this pertains more to that person, that maybe they're still not able to process, or they're unwilling to give up something. That's what the Hangman reverse means, is the inability to give up or sacrifice. So in a sense, this could be a person who still is a young soul compared to you especially. Like maybe this person did something so bad that they actually didn't get to incarnate for long periods of time because they were in the holding area supposed to analyze these life's mistakes, and maybe this has been a pattern. You may love them, but they may be a problem soul.
I like that. I mean, I think what he says is very valid there. I would just add that if this is about you, that maybe, right, the forgiveness angle. And so, like, you're kind of ready to kind of say, I really don't need to see you anymore. You know, I think I've absorbed it. I feel like maybe that's what the Hanged Man is saying here, because also, you know, he's done hanging from the tree and trying to absorb lessons from this thing. He's like cutting himself down and saying, done. So I'm kind of feeling that. So that's what we have for you, Marin. That was kind of interesting.
Let me grab more coffee.
Interesting, Merwin. Yeah. Well, I do feel that way. So, moving on, you know, as they say, and we are moving on too. So, I'm still fine. Mr. O needs a coffee break because he is going to work. Angel Rivera, you are up. And after Angel Rivera's Blue Ocean Stars, Libra Cusp, Rosero, Captain Roz, and then Roz Hunter. So, Angel Rivera, what you got for us? Hey, you're welcome.
Did you clean those cards up?
And remember, you can ask about a current person and yourself, you know, just in...
You didn't.
And where you clicked in a past life. We can look at that as well as just these, you know, kind of more open ones.
I asked you to do that.
I'm sorry. Do you want to shuffle these? Because you
Sure.
seem to be decrying my shuffling skills.
Well, actually, that was a mutual gift that we gave. The
Better
lack of
half
shuffle.
and you. Absolutely. Now, that's the question. All right, Angel. Oh, okay, Merwin. Yeah, take it easy. Watch out. I don't even know if snow is still... Oh, it lightened up. It's very lightly falling now, but it's going to fall throughout the day.
Get those errands done and get back to the cave.
Get back to the cave. Ah.
Okay, Mr. O is riffling these to make sure they really get shuffled well. Sunman will check it out with me.
Boy, these small decks, there's really not much shuffling here. Well, that's why we pick them random through the deck. I wish they'd expanded more. Believe me, I keep thinking all the time the different things I would have loved to have seen here with this reincarnation deck.
No.
I hope somebody else explores it because it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun when we do the death and the other aspects of this deck. There are 6 piles. We chose these 3 for this particular reading.
So that represents a versatility in its use that maybe we could actually expand on that in other kinds of shows we do or other kinds of readings we do that aren't just about love but maybe about other issues. Finding something that has transcended between ages.
So Angel and his better half
All right.
in a past life.
Ooh, how's that?
Ooh, Angel.
A Celtic life. One of you was the head druid. Oh, what is the name of this deck?
Oh, it's Remembering Far Memory. That's actually the title.
Okay. You were in what approximated a
Oh,
city.
I'm sorry. Awakening Far Memory. Awakening Far Memory
Let's show that.
reincarnation cards. Apologies.
Okay, so in this Celtic environment or era, you did live in their equivalent of a city. Or at least one of you did.
Which may be really, in a way, more like a town. Oh, we got that.
Okay,
I'm
so now
sorry.
we do this, right?
We do that. Excuse me. Thank you.
I don't smell anything.
Okay. All right. Since you shuffled so well.
You know I did.
All right. So let's see what we have here. First one will be for you, Angel.
Ooh.
Interestingly enough, it is the King of Wands.
Prince. Okay.
Okay, so that is the page card in this deck. And so it's interesting. Was this a father-son relationship? I mean, I almost wonder if it is. Now, just because you were together in a past life doesn't mean you have to come together as, as lovers.
The other thing is we thought a little bit about this when we were formulating this about gender roles kind of things too. And so we decided to just be broader in that sense. This could imply same gender relationships of any sort, familial, married, whatever, because different times had different customs and those things may have happened. But at any rate, I agree with her. There was certainly some differences between you. You were the older person in the relationship.
Not that big an age difference. The page.
Yeah.
Yes, a little bit of an age difference there.
And of course,
Obviously.
in the Celtic context, I'm not sure what that may necessarily mean. Anything?
Well, I don't know, but I do feel that, you kind of had more of a position of authority over this person, whether you were father, son, or something else. But why do I feel strongly here this is a family kind of thing? I just feel it. And the Prince of Arrows, the Page of Arrows, they're a thinker, so this person was, somebody who liked to maybe challenge you, on an intellectual level. And you were more about getting to business, getting down to the bottom line, as opposed to all this lofty thinking.
Whether familial, parent, child, I do get a sense of a subordination that I feel like maybe the older person you might have mentored or trained the younger person. And I sort of feel like maybe partially this was about maybe artistic things, because this sort of represents a person who has grace, maybe knows how to regulate, has rhythm. So I'm wondering if maybe you could have been their teacher of some form of art or expression. Just a thought.
I don't think I pulled the theme in a while, so you want to
Alrighty.
pull the theme.
So the theme of that relationship.
Maybe I did pull the theme. I don't know. Wow.
Ooh, we've had power before for you in that other past life reading.
Did we? I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember that, I think.
Not sure.
Maybe this is even the same life that we're looking at.
So,
That
possibly the theme in this relationship, whatever it was, seemed to focus on power or power issues of power. Not necessarily struggles, but one apparently dominated over the other in some way. And I feel that, let's see what this has to say and add to that equation.
I don't know why, but I sort of thought like, oh, this is like A Star is Born, but, BC.
The teacher thing has come up before, Angel. You're right.
Okay. So this is what actually connects you to what is...
or maybe it's connected to that power. I want to see what we get.
I thought that was this one.
Well, I want to see what we get. I mean, it might tie things together a little better to tell me who they were. Wow. So the Ace of Coins muddles the issue, but it's upright. Well, I guess it muddles the issue for me because, it could be... I still feel it could be a familial relationship, but I also feel that, there was some wealth here. I think you had some status for sure. The two of you, the family. There must have been some family money. Or resources.
I'm actually picking up an intuition that if this was a familial or subordinate relationship, that you sent this person away to go to school for more training or something. And I don't know what the outcome of that was, but that you were investing in their education or their finishing.
And I feel like your relationship to your significant other in this life grew over time. I just feel that Ace of Coins there is all about growth. And I feel that the relationship was a growing one. And that maybe you had to work out some issues related to power.
This is what's going to tell us that, though, because this
We'll
is the
see, the
actual takeaway or possible karmic implications from then to now.
That may connect you in this life. Oh, I get to do this one again.
You didn't want to?
Well, I don't know. It's a lot of responsibility with great power. Are you guys still dealing with these issues?
Oh, dear.
You've got the Emperor up right, but that's positive. It seems to me that in your present relationship today, and maybe it's because you were family, you were connected like family, that you know how to share power with each other, you know how to set boundaries, you know what's good for the other, and you kind of look out for each other.
The Emperor's certainly about power. The Emperor's certainly about power, but I think it's also about autonomy. And so as a mutual shared thing that comes forward with you now, it's about acknowledging each other's autonomy, each other's abilities to help each other grow.
Yeah. Interesting reading, Angel. I hope you like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Blue Ocean Stars, you are up. So now you see how this can go. If you think of another person you're with in a present life, and you want to see what life you might have connected with them in, and how it might impact on your relationship with them today, that's kind of the idea of how we set up this reading. But we can obviously adapt it for some other circumstances, which is what we did in the beginning.
You're so welcome, Angel. It's very interesting reading for you. And yeah, we got that blue ocean, so we're going to do that. That's an interesting question, too.
Your daughter. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what
how
comes
you
up.
may have been connected in the past.
And we may not be able to get a beat on that life. We'll just see what comes up here, It
could very well be...
so many lives you could have shared with the people around you.
We have had some regression work done separately and together, and the suggestion has been that we have been connected in a number of our lives. But a lot of times we were siblings. Sometimes we were siblings of the same gender even.
So you shuffled these?
Yes, I have shuffled all of them.
Did you shuffle this?
Well, I didn't shuffle that. You're making me do all this work today.
I am. You're such a good shuffler. Oh,
it must be from that past life where I made you do all the work.
Probably. Have you
Hi, Gina Clean!
Gina! Have you learned from that past life?
You were a wolf in a past life. What's
Come on,
that?
let's keep rolling.
You want me to take a moment to grab that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And you can shuffle as you talk.
Okay,
blah,
Blue
blah,
Ocean.
blah. So this is the culture. Wow, Greece.
So the implication is it was probably the more ancient Greece culture. We'll know for sure in a moment, perhaps. But so you lived a past life, it may not have been the only one, with the person who is now your daughter, was in the Greece times. Let's put that up higher.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I'll just let you pick these this time, because... or I could pick one if you want me to. I could pick one. In the fields surrounding ancient Greece. And Greece had sort of an empire too, am I right? Not the same as the Roman.
Right. I mean, Alexander the Great, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, he was really Macedonian or something. I don't remember.
Macedonian.
Macedonian, thank you. Sorry. Whoops. He was a nut too, though. Let's face it. Sorry, Alex.
All right, Mr. O, you going to comment on those? And
yes,
give me the
I am,
cards?
because I just got this impression that no matter what gender your daughter may have been in that life, I see her sitting in the fields composing a hymn or an ode to the god Pan, the god of the woods. I know fields aren't woods, but I just sort of like idyllic. It just feels pastoral. You're like cringing right now.
No. No. I'm just not going to say anything until I get the next cards of the people, which is right now, right, Mr. O? Cut them.
I will.
All right.
I'm cracking them up, right? Just like any other macadamia.
Well, look who came up again. It's the Prince of Coins.
So many younger men.
So
or
it
younger
seems like
persons.
it's a youth. It's a page. It's
Well,
a
this
younger.
is Blue Ocean.
Right.
Right.
This is you.
you're
You
the
were a younger
person.
man in this life. You could have been maybe a sibling, but let's see what we get here.
Well, I thought we were being gender non-specific because we didn't know for sure. Or were we?
No, we were being. The whole idea was about
Okay.
gender.
Got it.
But it depends. When we were doing the other questions that weren't about specific people.
Gender roles were being non-specific. Okay. Oh, them again?
Yes. So.
Both of them.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? And I know
Third
he
time
has
today.
shuffled and shuffled.
Third time today.
So, but that's okay. You know, there are so many court cards in the deck. It's highly possible. And I feel that, again, I'm looking here at potentially, because the queen is older, that it's a mother-son relationship instead in this particular life. And actually, she was your mother.
I think that's possible too, but I also feel too like that idea I had about, praising Pan or something like that. I feel like she was maybe an oracle, or maybe she was a priestess in a temple too. I mean, you might have lived in a country environment, but everybody always went to the temple to pray or had their own little shrines on their lands and things like that. So I'm wondering if she was sort of a priestly sort, or you were.
Well, I would have to look at other cards coming out. I'm not seeing that right now. I really feel this is more a person who might have been involved in some agriculture.
Okay.
I have a feeling. And you were the up-and-coming son, Blue Oceans, and that she nurtured you. She prepared you for a future of bounty. Because the pentacle is there.
Well,
I
Blue
feel.
Ocean says that they feel that she was royalty or a wise person.
Well, maybe.
So I'm just
I think you could connect with
picking up that vibe. Yeah.
You
Okay.
can pick up that vibe. I still feel this way. However, if that is true, I do feel still that this person really set you up well to be successful. You understood how to manage resources.
That's true, and that is really the takeaway of the Queen of Wands. So you're right. So this is the theme of that life in a way. Oh, greed and generosity. And so it could be both. It could be one or the other.
And that's where I think this other card might give us more information on that. It's either one or the other, I feel. It's
Potentially as a theme of the life, it could be that there were more materialistic desires, or there was the ability to give freely.
Well,
One or
I
the
feel
other.
that if you were in agriculture, there's definitely a give and take of resources here.
That's true.
And it seems to fall in line with these two now in some way.
Makes sense to you? Thanks.
But do you want to hold them out for me to pull one? I
Alrighty.
haven't pulled one of these, and I'll let you pull.
So this is sort of what kind of brings you together, or what was some of the
Well,
qualities of the relationship?
It was qualities of the relationship, I feel. And it may tie into that theme.
What you got?
The Tower.
Oh dear.
So, I can't help but wonder if maybe this isn't one of those scenarios, seeing that, where it could be a little bit of both. That, that maybe some greediness caused a major upheaval. There was some learning from that, major learning experiences that you went through together. Epic, one would almost say, but you came out of it with more knowledge and wisdom. And maybe ultimately it changed you from maybe a person who hoards resources or wants too much to people who are willing to give more.
Well, you know, the ancient Grecian period lasted at least 1,000 years, maybe a couple thousand years. I'm not entirely sure about that. But I'm thinking that the tower tells me that maybe there was a lot of particular types of turmoil or things going on in that particular area. So maybe natural disasters, or maybe, you know, clashes between other nations, you know, the whole Sparta, Athens thing, stuff like that. So that maybe this presented opportunities for growth or learning, but maybe lessons to be learned. So, you know, if it's intergenerational, possibly, sometimes people like the things that the leaders do, but maybe younger people don't. Maybe there was conscription to certain things, you know, whether it was war or public service, and maybe this created a little bit of a dichotomy between your attitudes with the parent.
I think that you didn't have an easy life together per se, that there were upheavals and moments that really threw you for a loop, but it's how you navigated that was important. You were able to overcome these things because you really took in those lessons. And let's see what from that you have taken into this life together.
Right, so the actual lesson that comes today, or the karmic value of everything.
Oh, not that one. Wow.
Constant change is here to stay.
Death is change and transformation. So I don't know. There's a lot of messages when I see this card in this position, because just taken at face value, I think what has happened here is, you know, you guys have transcended time to be together in this life for a reason. And I think the reason is to support each other's growth and transformation.
That's beautiful, because this is one of the most highly transformative cards to receive in this way upright in the readings at all. I'm looking at those symbols, you know, the owl there, and I'm just thinking that your destiny is to always be together, perhaps, and that maybe that's what it is. You reverse the roles. See, Banshee and I, we feel that maybe we've been siblings in some of our past lives, but maybe you guys have been each other's parents. Maybe that's your pattern, because there's something in your soul that talks to that.
It's like a reverse role here, you know?
Right.
It's interesting.
So that's what we think. And we hope that you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It certainly was interesting to us.
And, okay, we got to keep moving because we're running out of time now.
I got
Libra
only
Cusp,
a little about
you
half
are
an hour.
up. And then Rosero, Captain Ross Hunter, and Gina. We're going to keep moving.
Oh, God, but I only got a half an hour.
We're going to keep moving. I'm going to shut you up, Mr. O.
There's another problem, too.
No.
You know what it is.
I hope not. And as I try to shuffle the cards before he shuffles the cards.
Thank you. Huh? How did that happen?
So if you all like this today, please don't forget to like the page. I probably should have said that earlier.
If you're not a subscriber, you should. That. Leave us a comment.
All right, we're ready if Libra Cusp is ready. Libra, are you still with us? Yeah, be here now.
I am so sorry.
Wow, I've enjoyed these readings so far. They've been a lot of fun. All right, so I am waiting on Mr. O to get back, and then we will, and Libra Cusp. And if Libra Cusp is not here, Rosairo, are you still here? You would get a question. Your question would be next. Just trying to wind through the list to see if who's here. Meanwhile, while we're waiting for Mr. O, there's a shot of Sunny. Sunny. There. Look at the camera. Smile for the camera. Okay. enough of Sunny. I just had
Kitty cam?
had a shot of Sunny. Moved the camera, so. All right, Libra Cusp is not here apparently, so we're going to move on to Rosairo. Are you here? I asked and I haven't heard yet. So what about Captain Roz? Are you here, Captain?
I thought a person or two might have left a question, but you're right. We don't really know if they're here.
Captain Roz, are you with us? Hey, we might end early, Mr. O.
On time would be okay.
I know. Last call for Captain Roz.
We could do our own.
All right, what about Roz Hunter? Roz Hunter, are you here?
It's kind of interesting. Do you see how many are in the chat room?
Well, we have 5 in the chat.
Oh, great entertainment.
Roz Hunter.
They asked their question, who was I in my past life?
Yeah, that was
I see,
just
yeah.
a general past life.
Yeah.
We're not,
Gotcha.
I mean, they're not
That was a
here,
while ago,
so
yes.
if they come back,
Okay.
I would do it, but we don't, this isn't a full past life reading in the same way we've done them before.
Right.
Usually we do those in October. You never know, we might do that again during the year because people like that one a lot. All right, we're going to move on to Gina. Gina, have a past life question for us? Now remember, it's about you and somebody in your past life. If you want to ask about somebody in the present life, a family member, a relationship.
I know what you're thinking, Gina, but Sunny was all mine in the past life.
Oh, you're silly.
There's a nice question.
Oh, awesome. Awesome question.
That's a nice
Gina.
question.
Yes, it is. Okay. Let's see what we get. Without him ruining my cards and bending them.
You should just be glad that they didn't fall on the floor.
Ah.
Did you walk like an Egyptian?
No, Gina was in South America with her dad.
All right.
Wow. That's interesting. Let's see what we get here to complement that about the environment.
A desert.
So
area,
kind
a drier
of a
area.
drier area, more arid, dry area. If it's not a true desert, it was just more dryness.
Yeah, I don't know the terrain of South America to know that there is or
Completely.
is not any deserts.
Well, it's hot in places, so
Sure. It tends to be more moist, I thought, in
yeah,
general.
yeah.
But
'cause
there could
it's
be areas that are
tropical.
desert.
I mean, whatever below the. Okay, well, let's think about this. Let's move on. We want this first. This is shuffle.
Oh, and look, I actually can shuffle. Because guess who left? This deck really needs to get broken in more.
So I feel the environment you were in, it's possible that what it could indicate that it might have been a period of drought. It might have indicated that it was more on the drier side, maybe the climate. I know it says environment. I feel climate can be part of that.
Well, like I said, I don't really know the terrain there, but I imagine that maybe adjacent or somewhere in the Andes, there could be a leveling off that maybe is more of a drier than forest environment, but I don't really know. Did you want me to cut?
Yeah. I already shuffled. All right.
So Mr. O has to boringly go to work this afternoon.
Right after this show. Okay, Gina, you were the Princess of Coins, which In this deck is a knight.
Dependable, solid, earthy.
Your father was younger. There's the Prince of Arrows here.
So maybe you were the parent, or maybe you were sibs, or maybe you
could
weren't.
have been in a relationship.
Yeah.
So let's see what else we get that might.
Yeah, that's actually true. I can see that.
It's possible because I think there's not a lot of age difference here. So I'm leaning towards siblings or
Friends of some sort.
friends or lovers. Okay. So you want to pick the theme this or should I?
Sure.
We'll let you. Oh. Fairness.
You fought the law, but the law won. And didn't we hear that the other day?
So here we have again, yeah, we did. Here we have air and earth together. You being earth, Gina. And I feel that I think you complemented each other well because you're both upright, number one. It seems to me there was why am I feeling that this might have been more of a friendship than a partnership? Maybe because it's justice here and it's just making me think of like a balance or harmony. Or if you were in a relationship together, you were very harmonized. I just feel like justice played a role here because we've got the Prince of Arrows upright.
Well, I guess justice played a role, but I would suggest that anything's possible and that maybe one of you was the pursuer of the other or the runner away from the pursuer in terms of some justice situation. So, like, maybe you weren't really friends at all, but you were sort of like adversaries even. Though she doesn't feel that, but I just wonder because of that theme now. So I'm wondering if maybe
that's why we need to draw the other card because I wonder if it's justice or injustice, if it's balance, if it's what's going on.
Right. So in this life was really, the reverse of what I possibly could say would happen. But we're going to see if that's true or not. We still have two cards, so who knows?
Yep. Is that the way?
Yeah.
Boy, does it look like family. There's the Ten of Cups or a relationship that did end up in a marriage.
Yeah.
I'm feeling that. I feel like this was a relationship and there was a lot of harmony. I don't feel the injustice here at all, particularly since the Ten of Cups has come up upright.
Right. So to me, any idea that maybe I felt like there was a possibility of, something, wrong side of the law thing, no. It just could be that maybe there was just a perfect harmony about your relationship that ended with this coupling. It could be that you guys were mates in that life.
You were very down to earth while this person was very intellectual. Again, we're getting this a lot, and full of ideas and energy, but
they
more
could have been
mentally
artistic
stimulated.
Too. They
could be artistic, and you were more down to earth and into the maybe even into some healing practices.
So,
let's see what we have.
What did you bring to this life now?
I think it was a very harmonious relationship. Oh, I got the Empress reversed.
Whoa!
So,
did you read what she said about justice or Empress previously?
No.
Okay.
What did she read about Emperor?
I've always felt like he was the emperor
wow.
and I the empress.
Oh. Well, maybe this is just saying that what you've learned from this relationship, and I'm not sure, I'm going to have to think about this a little bit, is, more about self-empowerment and self-care and nurturing. Maybe you've had to take in more messages about how to nurture, more.
I'm going to say that the Empress reverse maybe suggests that there was some sadness between you because maybe you could not have children. Maybe there was no issue.
Oh God,
the
that's
motherhood
so
thing.
right.
The motherhood thing.
Are you talking? And we're talking about in this life.
In that life.
This is the takeaway.
Well, okay, I agree, but maybe that informs. Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. I was just looking at that as the past. So to bring that to the present is that's just sort of a concept there about.
I mean, it's possible. I like what you say there
about the question of, what you were able to create. I mean, the Empress is kind of like mom, the mother, and so maybe there was a question about that has moved to the present. And obviously you have sisters and stuff, so I'm not sure what I'm saying here really.
Not a regular session, Sanjib. We're doing past life readings today, so we'll be here tomorrow though.
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say something like that because I knew you didn't have children. And I always feel like some people are very happy without children. Some people wish they had children, but
I feel he nailed that. And as soon as he said it, I realized, why didn't I think about that with the Empress? Because this makes perfect sense,
But so that would be saying that either you or him have brought this or have this concept in your lives about, that, not having children. He had children, but you didn't. So
right.
I'm not really sure what I'm seeing there.
Well,
exactly.
I just don't know if there were any unresolved feelings. Would he have liked to have seen you have children in this life?
Maybe.
I mean, I guess that's an unresolved.
At least one of your
issue or
sisters did have
question.
children.
Right. But this is about you. So
Sonny says the
your
reading's over.
Yeah, Sonny's weighing in.
Sonny says, wow! What do I get out of this?
So it's kind of interesting. It's interesting observation there by Mr. O. I think it does make a certain sort of sense. And what are you doing?
Ah, so that's what happened. He told you kids were a pain in the arse.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to get a better
It is possible
sense.
you had sometimes when I look at the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Cups is that happy card where there's the two parents, there's children staring at the rainbow, and so it seems like it's a family card, like there are children. But maybe you just had such a good relationship you didn't need the children. Not having the children didn't matter, and that kind of carried over to your relationship in this life, and that all was that
I
he
would
was
agree
fine
with that.
that.
That maybe the relationship was the child, the birth. The love you had was what you birthed, and that maybe that's a part of what happens now too in this relationship with your father. That's my card.
So, I know I was looking for the deck. So that's what we have for you, Gina. That was kind
Does
of
it really?
interesting.
Thank you. Appreciate hearing that.
We had fun. We did have fun. So, Rosairo, Captain Roz Hunter, Libra Cusp, are any of you back? Because you can get a reading right now.
Or Sanjib, we could look at somebody from your life and see if there was a past connection. That's what we're doing here today.
Yeah, I mentioned that already.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't mention it quite that way, so sorry.
Well, and we only have 15 minutes, so it's now or
kids
never.
And very little family. Hey, we're all built different, and that is fine. Nothing wrong with that. This is like a no judgment zone, but it's interesting he picked that up because I think that, yeah.
Sometimes when we do these past lives, if just a vague thought enters my head, I sort of feel like I got a glimpse, and so I go with it.
All right, we'll do it. Asmita and you in a past life. Let's see.
Okay, let's see about Asmita and you.
Really, Gina? Wow.
What does that mean exactly?
The trial continues, no vote.
What does that mean?
That means that obviously enough people are concerned about the phone call evidence that came out recently, and they want to explore it more with witnesses.
Ooh.
I'm guessing. That makes sense. Wow. All right, let's get going with Sanjib's reading so we can get it in. And
YS. You suck?
Hey.
I don't know what YS means.
Well, why would you say that? She meant yes.
Oh.
Mr. O is getting in his work mode, I think. Okay.
Return your books on time.
You want to hold that one up for me this time?
Okay, Sanjib. This is for you.
This is for you.
You knew exactly which one you wanted.
Hey, we've got Egypt.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I don't think this has ever come up in any of our past life
I don't think
readings.
Egypt has come up yet. No.
Ever.
I like that card too. It's
So
really
it seems
evocative.
like you were probably in ancient Egypt. And of course, depending on which scholars you believe, that could be thousands of years, 4,000, 5,000. We're not really sure. A very long period of history. But you may have lived in Egypt in the most remote times, because there was actually... Yes, there was.
Okay.
They know this now, that there was actually a period in ancient, maybe very prehistoric Egypt, where there was huge inundations and more than there are now with the Nile. So there may have been a more lush time in Egypt's history. So that tells me this could be very ancient. Or a forest of some sort somewhere in the Egyptian area. I thought we'd do the other ones.
Yes. Sorry. Shuffle. Mr. O, we're running out of time.
Oh, I don't... Well, not me, Gina.
Mr. O is just quick off the cuff and then expresses regrets later.
No, and I certainly didn't think you were saying that about me. I was just being my silly self. Really, come on, guys. Everybody knows I'm a real card that should be dealt with. You pick? Or you deal?
I look for them.
Look for them. Find the one
I was going to have you cut them, but I think I'm taking them as is because
Time
it
is
was
fleeting.
meant to be. Oh,
Okay, so this is you,
so
most likely, Sanjib.
You were the king of wands in this life.
You were apparently an older man who maybe was in control of a certain situation. Possibly you were a business person of some sort. You may have been even somewhat wealthy.
And we have the Princess of the Arrows.
Asmita may have been a younger person.
I don't want to say father-daughter yet. This could
No,
be...
I don't either.
This could be a relationship. Sometimes, age differences didn't matter. It's possible people were betrothed when they were younger. So, depending on the culture.
It could just even be that maybe they were sort of an artistic person that you worked with in your business. Maybe they were just a business associate.
Well, they're talking real ancient times here, so
Hard to say.
I don't know about business associate. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, these people more. I want to see what the theme of this was. Wow. It was either feast or famine. So times are either really good or not so good. And maybe there was a little bit of both. You had to weather some hard times, and then there were times of plenty. I feel that the King of Wands here is indicating to me that this person was a leader of some sort. Whether it was in a business, managing workers, erecting pyramids, for example. But I can't believe it's that too much because we're talking about a forested area here. So some kind of a leader of a group of people, a community. And this person may have been family,
Okay.
but let's check that.
Okay. Right, and I'm not getting
I'll pull
anything
a
in
card from here
particular
instead.
about that last card, the abundance, other than the fact that maybe there seems to feel like some agricultural emphasis. And so if you lived in a forested area, maybe there was some...
Or food gathering.
Right. And that maybe, you had charge of this in some way, some sort of importance in that. So now what is the connection, perhaps? It's the wands, right?
Oh, no.
No, that's the swords. Okay.
Yep.
Bye, Blue Ocean.
Take care, Blue Ocean. So that's really interesting to me because we have the Ace of Arrows here. Some type of victory or some type of, gaining knowledge. It seems like, I feel, as Mina learned a lot from you, I'm getting the feeling here that maybe this was kind of a father-daughter relationship.
Well, it could be, too, that what I feel is that maybe, right, you had something to pass down to your heir, this child of yours, and I feel this was an undertaking, too, the Ace of Swords, so maybe part of what the goal, the theme of the life was how this transition happened or how some big goal, the creation of your particular thing you wanted to create for your community, whether it was something that was supposed to last through, time or not, there was some goal that you were trying to bring them along, and I think it was mostly successful is what it was, that you got them to help you with this goal. It was the creation of something. Maybe it was a minor temple that needed to be created in that more remote period, something like that.
This was a highly positive relationship, I believe, Sanjib. And there was a real meeting of, with the Ace of Swords here, I feel between the two of you, there was a real connection beyond family. There was like a real meeting of the minds between the two of you.
Well, the Egyptians, for the thousands of years of their life, were very magical, spiritual, religious. They believed in a magical kind of religion. And so the thing is that this whole thing transcends really, and it's really maybe about the furtherance of how Egyptians thought of the soul evolving too. So that's why I sort of feel the religious angle, like maybe this was in the earlier days with the creation of a place of worship and or the tutoring or creating that community that supported that.
I can't rule it out, but definitely there was feast or famine. It seems to me like there were some rough waters you had to go through, but you were there for each other.
Right.
Clearly.
And I don't know, that remote period that well, the topography, the weather situations. I know that there were periods maybe where climate changed a little bit too, but I don't know that it was extreme like we have now. So those things play out in many decades, and maybe it wasn't a big difference, but maybe it was in that time where there were some, crop problems and things like that. So this is the karma, the lesson, the takeaway.
Wow.
Okay, we could say that, of course,
The lovers.
I would have to say that maybe you actually were lovers in the past, despite anything else, whether there was any relationship at all. And if you weren't lovers of the body, in true physical ways, you may have been lovers of the soul, that there was a soul love there that is just the strongest thing. Because that's, to me, really the highest point of the Lovers card. The takeaway is that you choose the best.
Whether you totally connect or not, in this life, if you are connected, I would just say this, that past life really formed a connection between the two of you. That meeting of the minds translated into something, I feel, in this life that can or could go deeper, and it's really kind of beautiful, I think.
When you go around the world, there are a few cultures that have such a vast amount of time where maybe people could have been incarnated in. Ancient China, ancient Egypt, ancient India are the only ones that really come to mind in terms of the kind of civilizations that we know they left. So I just think it's awesome, and that maybe you guys are ascended masters, or you were, and that this is, where things will go.
And, just because maybe you were not lovers in this past life, doesn't mean that you wouldn't be in this life. And, or if you are family in this life, basically it was really a connection that meant to come back together. So I feel it's very positive. This is really good reading.
I hope you like
Nice,
that, Sanjib.
Sanjib. I hope you enjoyed that.
And oh my goodness, look at that clock. I almost have to get out the door now.
He is right on time. Oh, 2 master numbers.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Sanjib. I hope you did find that interesting.
Yeah. Boy,
I
that's
suspect there's a
beautiful
lot
ending
about
to
you that
our-
we could spend hours with.
It's a beautiful ending to our past life readings today. It was awesome, Mr. O. So
Well, thank you.
I want to thank everybody for coming today and joining us on this kind of briefer stream because Mr. O has to work. But we've done our pop-ups before
You're
in
welcome.
90 minutes, so I think that's kind of the norm for the pop-up.
The only problem was just that I wasn't able to get out of work today. I should have really scheduled this better. Otherwise, it could have been a little bit more relaxed.
We wanted to get this done before Valentine's Day, though, because we
Absolutely.
thought it would be perfect. So thanks, everybody, and hope you had a lot of fun and was able to sip some coffee. Notice my ginormous cup here. Kind of political, but it's got elephants and donkeys on it. And actually, this was my aunt's cup, one of my late aunt's cups that I still use. So anyway, take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.